on, guys? It's Max24, and March has come and gone. That's right, we are already into April. 2021 is just cruising right along. And I bought a lot of movies in March. Not as many as I bought in February. I was a little slower on the purchases. My bank account was crying from last month, so I had to, conserve it a little bit. But I did buy some movies in March. So let's go over all the movies and video games I bought last month. But before we get into that, please always do remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and all that fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I upload most on Twitter, sometimes on Facebook, barely on Instagram. Follow me on all those places, subscribe to me here. And with that, let's get into this week's video. So, I bought some good movies, some bad movies, some alright movies, and some movies I haven't seen, which that's pretty much every month. So let's go over them. First off, we picked up Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, this is not the best version of the Willy Wonka storyline. That's the classic one. That's the best one. But this is the one I grew up with. It's weird. Tim Burton is weird. Johnny Depp is weird. So it's just a weird movie. But I loved it. I picked this up at Dollar General. So it's missing the DVD. And it's probably scratched. But it was like a couple dollars. I'm going to have to get a better version of this. But I'm happy I get to add this to my collection. Then I picked up Paddington 2. I don't have Paddington 1, but Paddington 2 was on sale, so I was like, might as well. Paddington is such a fun movie series. If you haven't seen Paddington 1 or Paddington 2, get on that. They're both so much fun movies, and I have to pick up Paddington 1 sometime, but I'm happy I have 2 in my collection. Then I picked up A Diary of Wimpy Kid 1 and 2. These aren't great movies, but I grew up reading the Diary of Wimpy Kid series, so I love the adaptations up until the 4th one. I never even watched the 4th one because the 4th one was just not my Roderick, alright? They completely replaced the cast, and that was not it. But I bought 1 and 2 because I loved the first couple books. I loved all the books, but the first 2 movies were probably the best ones that they made, and they just went downhill. But I'm really excited for the animated series. Then I picked up Diary of Wimpy Kid Dog Days. Again, I love Diary of Wimpy Kid. This is the last good one. I mean, it's not as good as the first 2, but it's the last good one because then they replaced the cast. So I don't even want to watch the one with the new cast. Then I picked up Monster Hunter. It's not a great movie. It's a video game movie. I'm not a big Monster Hunter fan. I don't know if I've even played any of the games. I own Monster Hunter World, but I haven't touched it. I want to pick up Monster Hunter Rise, but why would I pick up Rise before I play World? That just doesn't make sense. But I bought this movie, checked it out. It's a fun monster movie. Not a very great monster movie. There are a lot better monster movies, even for dumb fun monster movies. There's a lot of dumb things that happen in this, and it's very much a sequel baiting movie. But it's a video game movie. I'd add it to my collection. Then I picked up Moulin Rouge. Such a great musical. If you haven't seen Moulin Rouge, you have to see Moulin Rouge. Ian McGregor is great in it. It's absolutely phenomenal. My mom loves this movie. I watched it a lot when I was younger because she loved the movie, and I'm finally adding it to my collection because it's a great movie. And then I picked up Crazy Rich Asians, just checked it out too. It's a fun movie. It's not a very deep movie. It's not a very intense movie. It's a fun movie where you get to see rich jerks be jerks and this whole hierarchy of rich people, and you get to peer into the culture of like Singapore. It's a fun movie to watch. It's not a very amazing film. It's a fun film. Then I picked up Epic. They just closed down this studio, so I had to pick up some movies from them. I can only pick up Epic. That's the only one I found. I have to pick up the other ones like Ice Age and stuff. But Epic's a fun movie. It's not as epic as the title says it is, but it's still a fun time to watch. Then I picked up The Big Short. The Big Short is such a great movie, such a well-made movie. It's simply a phenomenal time, all right? If you haven't seen The Big Short, go watch The Big Short. It's just so great. All the acting's stellar. The story's stellar. It's a great time. Then I picked up Promising Young Woman. I have not checked this out yet, but it's nominated for Best Picture, and my goal every year is to watch all the Best Picture nominees, so I was like, I need to pick this up. It was cheap. Amazon was doing a 3-for-2 sale. This was part of it, so I was like, hell yes, let's get it. Bo Burnham's in it, so I'm really excited to check it out. I have to check it out before the Oscars. And then I picked up the first Maleficent because it was on sale. They're fun. They're good live-action movies. I think Angelina Jolie does a great job as Maleficent. That's pretty much all there is to say. It's not very deep. It's not super memorable, but it's a good time. Then I picked up Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, the second one. This was a really cheap Target exclusive, so I was like, I gotta pick that up. It's not as good as the first one. It's enjoyable. There's parts that are enjoyable, but it really lost a lot of what it was. So, but it's on my collection now because you gotta have the whole series. And then I picked up Godzilla. This is the 2014 Godzilla. I picked it up just in time for Kong vs. Godzilla. They just released it in 4K. I love this cover. This movie is a good movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. It's so much better than the other Godzilla with Matthew Broderick that we came out like a while ago. That one was a train wreck. This one actually is true to the story. I wish Godzilla was in it more, but the Godzilla stuff we get is pretty cool. Then I picked up Kong Skull Island. This is probably my favorite MonsterVerse movie because it's the one that actually mostly delivers on just a monster messing with humans and beating them up. Because Godzilla, King of Monsters, Godzilla's fighting his monster brethren, and there's boring human characters. Godzilla 2014, Godzilla's fighting Mutos, and there's boring human characters. Kong Skull Island, I think the human characters are actually fun because they know they're in a dumb monster movie, so they play on that. Tom Hiddleston, who is, I don't even know what his role, he's like a tracker or something. He kills pterodactyl-looking things with a sword. How much dumber can you get? But I love it. Then I picked up the Sam Raimi SpiderMan Trilogy. I don't really like the packaging on this one. It's kind of hard to get the movies out, but the Sam Raimi SpiderMan Trilogy is a fantastic trilogy. All right, the first two are fantastic. The third one, it exists. It's not as bad as people say it is, but it's not as good as the first two, especially the second one. The second one's the top of the trilogy. I don't know what happened to the third one. Too much characters, too much overcrowding. Just a lot. Then I picked up the Amazing Spider-Man series. People don't give this one enough credit. The Amazing Spider-Man 1, I think is really good. I think it's a really well-made Spider-Man reboot. We didn't need a reboot right away, but I think it's a really well-made one. Andrew Garfield does a good job as Spider-Man, not as good as Peter Parker, but he's a good job as Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, however, takes the setup that was the Amazing Spider-Man, and it falls apart. There was a lot of sequel baiting in it. There was too many characters. The focus on Electro, he was kind of a boring Electro. It's just not very good. There's some really good parts in it, but other than that, it's not good. But the first one, Amazing Spider-Man, was a great time. Then I picked up Green Lantern, everyone's favorite superhero movie. I picked this up to complete my DC collection. I didn't pick this up because it's a great movie. I love Green Lantern, and I want to see a good Green Lantern movie. This just ain't that movie. Then I picked up Superman and Batman, the 9-film set, I believe. Yeah, it's a Walmart set. It comes with Superman the movie, Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4, Superman Returns, Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Some fantastic movies in here. Some really crappy movies. And some so bad it's good. Batman and Robin is a so bad it's good movie, right? I love the corniness of Batman and Robin. I don't know what it is about it. I know it's not a good movie, but there's a freaking bat credit card. Arnold Schwarzenegger does freezing-related puns. Like, it's just a lot of fun, even though it's such a bad movie. Then I picked up Wonder Woman 1984. This is the latest in the DCEU. I think a lot of people give this one a lot of shit, and it doesn't deserve as much shit. It's definitely not on par with the first one. The first one, at least the first two acts of the first one, I think were phenomenal. The third act kind of fell apart, but the first two acts were phenomenal. Wonder Woman 1984 took that potential and just dive-bombed it. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. That pretty much sums up most of the DCU. None of the DCEU, I think, is horrible. There's just a lot of missed opportunity and a lot of weak entries in the series. But Wonder Woman 1984, it's got some good elements. Like Pedro Pascal, I think, is great as Maxwell Lord. I love Pedro Pascal. I'm really glad he's getting more roles. He's great as Maxwell Lord. Gal Gadot shines once again as Wonder Woman. She's great as Wonder Woman. She was made to play Wonder Woman. But a lot of the plot, a lot of things going on, just doesn't make sense. There's a lot going on, a lot of conveniences, a lot of comic bookiness. It's definitely not as good. It's one of the most comic booky movies in the DCEU, but we have moved on from comic booky movies. This feels like a comic movie that would come out in like the 2000s. The 2000s had like X-Men, things like that, we were still doing the corny superhero movies. Now we have made superhero movies on another level, more than the corniness that they used to be. And this feels like an era that we don't do anymore for superhero movies, and that's why it gets a lot of shit. I don't think it deserves as much shit as it gets, but it's definitely not great. Well, that's all the movies I picked up in March. Now let's go over the 2 video games I picked up. I picked up a lot of digital video games, but these are the 2 physical video games I picked up. So I got my PS5 and Xbox Series X in, so I picked up PS5 Spider-Man Miles Morales with the Spider-Man Remastered. I love Spider-Man. I think Miles Morales needs his own live-action movie. Seriously, Marvel, give him a live-action movie. I'm bored of Peter Parker. Tom Holland's great as Peter Parker, but I want Miles, all right? Don't do another Peter Parker reboot after Tom Holland. Miles. Give me Miles. And Spider-Man Miles Morales is a lot of fun. It's such a great time. Spider-Man Remastered, I haven't checked it out yet. I'm not a fan of the new face for Spider-Man, but that's okay. It's a lot of fun. And Insomniac does a great job on what they do. And then I picked up Madden 21. Not because I'm a Madden player, but because it came with my Series X. All right, I bought a GameStop Series X bundle that came with Madden 21 and a $20 GameStop gift card. That's how I got my Series X. So the only reason I have this is because I wanted a Series X, and the only way to get that is to get Madden 21. So I'm not going to be playing it a lot, maybe like once, twice. I never would go out of my way to buy this, but I wanted a Series X. But yeah, that is it for this month of Blu-ray and video game collection. I picked up some pop figures, but those are all in the Pop in the Box video, and those are at my home all the way like 4 hours away from me, so I can't really throw those in the video. But I hope you enjoyed. And if you are a small creator who really wants to have a community to grow with other people, with a community of like-minded people who all want to grow, you should join the Production Corner. Link in the description below. It's a great community on Discord. I'm one of the co-owners on it, so full disclosure, you know, I might be a little biased, but it's a community filled with a bunch of people who are all want to help each other grow and get big on YouTube. And Twitch. For all you know, you could be the next PewDiePie. Join us. We have a lot of fun. We talk a lot. We talk a lot of crap. We watch each other's videos, give each other support. It's a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope to see you next month for my Blu-ray haul. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all that jazz. Subscribe to me here, and I hope to see you in the next video.